Without malicious intention, my extended family turns the latest school shooting into dinner-time small talk. We talk about the trials, and the cops, and the parents, and the lawsuits. A sister or a grandmother waits barely 5 minutes before mentioning that teachers are overpaid. Someone, maybe an uncle or grandfather, talks about the new shooting range on the ride home. I bathe in the horror of my own thoughts that the avoidable traumas of others are duller to some than a butter knife.
For the last few years, I've had this fear of dying in childbirth. Not for any known medical reason, mind you. Sorry. Oh, that's heavy, isn't it? Shit's terrifying, but I don't know. Things were really hard for a while, and I hated the idea of getting stable enough to dip my foot into a new life stage, only to have something grab me by the ankle and fling me through the air like a rag doll. Betrayed by my own body, right when things are getting good? Seems unfair. Fuck, that again, who's fair even for again, right? I swear, the more honest you are at the doctor's office, the more boxes you tick, yes or other or unknown, the higher the chance there is of crying in the car after your appointment, because apparently nobody knows what's wrong. Boom! Diagnosed with fat. Boom! Diagnosed with having a pussy. Boom! Diagnosed with actually you deserve to have your home destroyed in a flood because you live in a region that voted red. Sorry. I was on Twitter earlier and last night, and the night before too. Did you know how many things there are to worry about? And sure, not a lot of them affect me yet. And that's a pretty big, loud yet. I don't know. Mostly I'm trying to pretend like it's fine, like it's all good, like I'm not going to blink and then suddenly half the country's underwater but none of it's drinkable. It's just hanging in the background and on my phone like the fucking sword of Damocles while I work and buy groceries and swipe on Tinder and maybe even fall in love, because these are the things that I gotta do with my precarious little society on a dying planet, and it's not fair. It's not fair. So what do you do?
My body is a graveyard of all the do no harms. What really should be called, I don't give a damn about your distress. You are not worthy of my time. Your hands around my throat. But it's not called violence. It's called medicine. My body is on fire, like a third-degree sunburn that someone rubs grit paper on. I can't stop bleeding. I am drowning and told to swim harder, ask for a life vest, told I'm doing fine. It's been 15 years. No one can hear me scream. So I take matters into my own hands. So I take a coat hanger and try to take out my uterus myself. It doesn't work. I ask again for the doctor to take it out, and he says that I'm too young to make this decision. 22 years of daily pain, 22 years of bleeding most of the month, 22 years of losing myself. Your power, your privilege mattered more than my distress or my desire to choose what happens to my body. I was left dangling, but there is no lynch mob. Just a man in a white coat with more power over my body than I'll ever have.
Good afternoon, doctor's office. How can I help you? Hi, is this? Hi, yes. Hi, is this? You guys do abortions there? Hi, yeah, we do. We're a small doctor's office, all women, located in downtown Brooklyn and East 40th Street. May I ask if you've taken a positive pregnancy test? Uh-huh. Okay. Do you know the first day of your last period? Yeah, it was about, I don't know, like maybe 2 months ago. I don't know, I just got a test yesterday and I've been Googling and that's how I found you. Okay, so a little bit about us. We do offer early terminations from 6 to 12 weeks. Either the pill method, which has a few steps, or a same-day non-surgical procedure called a soft touch. It's a 2 to 5 minute procedure specifically designed to end an early pregnancy, which is a pregnancy at 12 weeks or less. It's non-invasive and involves a small handheld device that quietly brings a natural release of your menstrual flow. Both the abortion pill and the MVA, the soft touch, are recommended by the World Health Organization as the safest early abortion options. So that's, I know a lot I just said. I don't know if either of those are appealing to you, but may I ask where you're located? Yeah, I'm in Tennessee. I see. And do you know where in New York? Well, I just Googled abortion and private and fast and safe, and you came up. Can I ask you how you live with yourself? Excuse me? How do you live with yourself, killing babies? I'm sorry, what was your name? Joanna. Hi. Joanna, I live with myself because I see what women feel like when they get their lives back. Because it is a choice. It should be. Because people come in here thinking they're going to have the worst day of their lives, and so often they leave like they got their life back. Joanna, you said you took a positive pregnancy test. Do you feel like maybe you don't want to continue your pregnancy? Uh-huh. Okay, I hear you. Can I help you with an appointment? Or I don't know if you're able to get to New York, but I would be happy to help you or answer any questions you have about our office. Sorry. I'm confused. I'm 19 and just started college. I don't want to have this child. I don't want to have this baby, but I also don't want to kill it. I'm the first person to go to college and I got a scholarship. But if my parents found out, I don't even know how I get there. I don't even know what to do, but I Googled and found you. I don't want to be a mom. I want to go to college and I want to have a nice life, but it's okay. It's okay, Joanna. I'm Sheila June, and I know things are really difficult right now where you are, but we do know some people who might be in your area, closer, maybe a little north, and they can help you. I can help you, but I don't know if you can get here. The good news is, listen, it's really early and you still have time. But if you do want to do these early options, which is not surgery, you do have a few more weeks. But if your options will change, and I'm sorry to say that. We're not here to tell you what to do, but we are here to provide an option. It's up to you, and we're here to support you in whatever decision you make. I will say there's very little downtime with the procedure, and there's also the pill option. What's that? So the pill option is something that has a few steps. The first thing we do is an ultrasound to make sure it's not an an ectopic pregnancy, to make sure the baby or the fetus is in the right place, like in your uterus, in your tummy, instead of like your tubes. Once we get a clear ultrasound, we'd give you the first pill in the office, and that stops the pregnancy. And then the second pill we'd have you take home, and then you would have a strong period come on for a few days. And it's a little intense, but it's kind of like heavy cramping. And then you'd pass the pregnancy, and we would ask you come back for a follow-up visit to do another ultrasound, and then that's it. It's all in the privacy of your own home. I know home is Tennessee. I mean, the benefits of the other option, if you were able to find a way to get here, is that it's all in one day. I mean, the actual procedure takes less than 10 minutes. You're awake, there's little downtime, just a little cramping, and you can be in and out of our office in less than 10 minutes. I can't have a baby. But I don't know how I'd get to New York. I can't do this pill because that would take so long. And holy fuck, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I'm sorry. Fuck, someone's home. Fuck, I gotta go. Joanna? Joanna? Good afternoon, doctor's office.
It's 2022, and I'm pulling books from the bonfire. Like little Liesel in that Marcus Sussex story, I am saving every sentence that I can. I brush my hands against their spines and recite their names. Genderqueer. The Hate You Give. This book is gay. Mouse. Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. A personal favorite. I search for them in the local bookstore, my heart beating faster and faster. If I don't save them, will somebody else? I spent my childhood watching my mother wear her I Read Banned Books t-shirt and wondered why anyone would try to take books from a child's hands when my mother was trying so desperately to get them to pick up just one. My home state of Pennsylvania has tried 456 times to ban books this year. How do I explain the feeling of the smother, of the push down of thought and feeling that snatching a book away does to a community? I take my broken body, my 1,000-track mind, my queer as fuck heart, and wonder how anybody thinks I could feel safe here, where my story is cornered in a dark room and forced to give up the ghost. How can you take it as anything but violence? A sharp stab in the ribs, getting mugged in an alley and left for dead. I look at my shelves and I see blood. A closed door. Some white guy in a suit is telling me that my story, our stories, are obscene, inappropriate. They make people feel bad. If my story makes you feel bad, maybe that was the point. Stories don't just exist to placate you. They exist to change you, teach you, push you, extend you into the unknown until you are fit to snap, and if that is uncomfortable, I am not sorry. I am not backing down. I will not let you push away the reality in favor of your narrative. We exist and will not stop existing. And if you feel bad about our experiences, maybe take a look in a mirror. And then, take a look in a fucking book.
What you wanna do tonight? I go once a licking life. Oh, you said standing like a stick, this tight coat inverted, be a noose instead. Oh, you lie next to me, heart is beating heavily, blood in your earlobe, blood in your shirt. And it's too late to say you're sorry still. And I stepped out with heavy heart to bail you out again. All those things you do, and all those things you do. Well, get out and get gone. This town is only gonna get worse. And get out and get gone. This town is only gonna reach you. Oh, so many bills to pay, no still won't go away. Oh, so sad. But you know you're drunk again, taking out your restraint. Oh, so sad. Oh, you're lying next to me, heart is beating heavily, there's blood in your earlobe, blood in your shirt. And it's too late to say you're sorry still. I stepped out with heavy heart to bail you out again. All those things you do, and all those things you do. Well, get out and get gone. This town is only gonna get worse. And get out and get gone. This town is only gonna reach you. Get out and get gone. This town is only gonna get worse. And get out and get gone. This town is only gonna reach you. Oh, you lie next to me, heart is beating heavily, blood in your hair though, blood in your shirt. It's too late to say you're sorry still. And I stepped out with heavy heart to bail you out again. All those things you do, and all those things you do. Oh, get out and get gone. This town is only gonna get worse. And get out and get gone. This town is only gonna reach you. Get out and get gone. This town is only gonna get worse. And get out and get gone. This town is only gonna reach you.
I fucked a guy who looked like you. Just to feel something. He was bigger than you, too. But he wasn't you. And he was good, but he was no you. And now I feel weird about it. But hey, I feel something now. The feeling isn't good, but it sure is a feeling.
I fucked a guy that talked like you. His inflection goes up at the end of his sentences just like yours. But he's not. He isn't. And he talks to me of the universe, of our place in the cosmos. If we even have a place. Do we have a place? I know we don't have a place. but his place is really nice. He has central air and a private bathroom.
I fucked a guy that had your name. Didn't fit as well on him as it did on you. On him, it was like a baggy jacket. You wore it like a well-tailored sports coat. It was awkward calling him by your name. Though it's his name too. But it wasn't. He isn't. No matter how much I think I can keep pretending. He was nice. Made sure I got home safe.
I fucked a guy that was nothing like you. Total opposite. He was big and strong, not like you. You could blow away in the wind. His eyes were brown. Your eyes are blue. And his voice doesn't crack when he gets nervous, not like yours does. And he was into finance and MMORPGs. And we had absolutely nothing in common. Absolutely nothing to talk about. So we didn't.
Sorry.
I fucked myself last night because commuting across all 5 boroughs is exhausting. I fucked myself last night, and I pretended it was you. But it wasn't. You weren't. But hey, at least I came this time.
I need to stop falling into these repetitive cycles. It's like there's something inherently wrong with my psyche. Fundamentally wrong. Am I broken? I feel like a disposable vape. You make me feel like a disposable vape. I get you high for a second, and when you're done, you throw me out. Not even a disposable vape. I'm just the puff bar packaging. They sit and rot at the bottom of your bag, and you don't even try to fish me out. And if I ever come out of there, it's on accident because you're like trying to find your keys or something, and then oops, we're kissing, and then oops, we're having sex, and then the next day you just ignore me like I don't exist. Does your post-nut clarity just tell you that I don't matter? That I'm not a person with thoughts or feelings or fragile ego? I'm like a shitty napkin. I'm like your fucking cum rag. Now just throw me the fucking garbage already and don't keep me in your stupid bag. Fucking piece of shit.
Women want me. Fish fear me. Hide your husbands, hide your wives. I'm coming to wreck your home. But can I be honest about something for a second? I'm really not the one that wrecked your home. You did. Both of you did. It takes 2 to tango, babes. And I was your unsuspecting third. There was already trouble in paradise, and when you thought I was the Band-Aid, I actually became the knife. But it's not my fault. I'm young and hot and in my 20s, and both of you are grown-ass adults in your 30s with a 401k and a mortgage. So it's not my fault, really, at all. So don't look at me like that. Don't you fucking dare.
My boyfriend's never made me come. He gets on top of me. He lazily spreads my legs and he shoves himself inside me. And it doesn't hurt, but it doesn't feel good. Like, he goes and he goes and he goes and he fucks me faster and faster, and I stare at him and I wish he would kiss me while he pounded me. And then for a split second, it's like his soul leaves his body. There is no life behind his eyes. He orgasms. His weight begins to collapse on mine. I feel him still inside. And he just lays on top of me, unmoving. Like he died or something. Like this is fucking Gerald's game, and then he rolls over and he falls asleep. And I feel like I'm in a liminal space.
My horny ass fucked a former man of God. He used to be a pastor. And after we fucked, he showed me his Bible. His actual Bible. Small and beat up and old, and it had his name etched in gold. And he told me he used to preach from it. And he used to be a fundy too. Like a fundamentalist Christian. Like the ones on TLC. A conservative one too. He isn't one anymore. He assured me he didn't believe in God. I laid in his arms and he quoted a verse. And I thought it was sexy as hell. Sexy as heaven. How will we say this? It was, Matthew 7:18. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Jesus said that or something. But he told me that the reason he left the church, he said, if so much horror comes from the name of God, the name of Christ, the tree it blossoms from must be rotted to the core. He's so poetic. Preach it to me, Father. Talk scripture to me, Father. Like a youth pastor on a young life retreat. I don't know. I'm not a Christian. But there's something hot about hearing a parable after being dicked down by a man of God. Forgive us, Father, for we both have sinned.
I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate that you have an effect over my feelings. I hate that you think everything can be fine and dandy after what you did to me. I hate you. I hate that to you I am nothing. I hate that you had me give you everything. I hate that I had bared my soul to you. I hate that you obviously didn't listen. I hate that you knew I've been hurt like this before. And I hate that you decided to play with my head. I hate that you make me feel beautiful, yet repulsive at the same time. I hate that I was only deserving of your love when you were inebriated. I hate that I let myself become so vulnerable in your arms. I hate that I succumbed to your touch. I hate that for a moment you made me think I was the most important person in the world, which was probably silly on my end. I'm not important. It's hilarious to even think I thought I was. I never was. I never am. I never will be. I hate that I take up all my time thinking about you. Time that I could be using to think about others that actually give a shit. When I know you don't do the same for me.
It is a waste of my time and my emotional energy. But unfortunately, I can't stop. It is my detriment.
The first time I realized I would die, I was in a dorm shower. I was rubbing soap on my skin and I thought, I'm gonna die someday. At the time, I was still nominally Christian, and someday seemed so far away that the answers were clear. I'm a good person, so I will go to heaven, and that's the end of that. Years later, when I was older and more tired, in many ways better and in some ways worse, and mass death hit the world in the face, safe at home, quarantined in a cottage, well, a converted garage, but let's call it a cottage. I couldn't even name the fear that gripped my heart and robbed me of sleep. But 2 years later, when the same crisis was still ravaging the world and our government did nothing, sacrificing people at the altar of capitalism, my eyes shot open at 3 a.m., roused from an otherwise peaceful and easy sleep, to remember that I would die. And all I could do was cry and cry and cry and cry. It's much more difficult when your spirituality shifts to something ancient but highly personal, one without a written doctrine or easy answers. Even though I studied history and watched Caitlin Doty religiously and cried through an entire therapy session, I couldn't shake the fear. I still haven't. And then I found out that as far as the Supreme Court was concerned, I could be forced to carry a child to term. And if that pregnancy were dangerous, I might not be able to find a doctor willing to perform the procedure, regardless of Grandpa Joe's exasperatingly milquetoast executive order, and I would have to die slowly. And my partner would have to watch me die slowly. And he would have to try to love the child if they somehow survived. Condemned to 9 months of digging my own grave, even if the child was wanted. I don't have answers. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. The people pushing for it know it's wrong, that their God would not stand for this. But they do it anyway. I think there's something more. I've realized I have to believe there's something more, even if it's at best unknowable and at worst a lie. When my grandfather died, I came home and the house was filled with the incense from his church. I guess I have to go with that for now. When I was holding my newborn niece in my arms, crying in awe at the miracle of human existence, I thought, there is nothing more hopeful or more immortal than bringing a new life into this world. And everyone has to be able to make that choice on their own.
Bro, did you hear that new Travis Scott song?
My mom would kill me if she knew I listened to that.
I'm not much into rap. Are there a lot of swear words in it?
Whatever, like you care. You cuss all the time.
Okay, I'm trying to stop. Shit.
Marlo. Anyway, let's finish these questions because it's almost time to go.
Dang, we've already been here for 3 hours?
Okay, last question. If Jesus was walking the earth today, what do you think is something he'd say to our generation?
Probably tell us to stop watching Rick and Morty.
Can't you be serious for 5 seconds?
I think you would tell us that we need to do a better job at loving our neighbors or something.
Anything specific?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like our world is so divided right now. Like, all we do is point at other people and blame them for our problems.
I think he would have a lot to say to our politicians.
I feel like we try to put Jesus into our politics way too much. Like if Jesus were walking the earth today, he probably wouldn't be a Republican or a Democrat.
Okay, what do you think Jesus would have to say about the death of George Floyd? Especially now that it happened 6 months ago.
I mean, he would obviously hate it, but I think he would hate it just as much as he hates all people who are being murdered.
But, like, we aren't talking about all people. We're talking about one guy.
Look here. In Galatians 3:28, it says, "There is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male nor female. You are all one in Christ Jesus." I truly think this means that God doesn't care what our skin color is.
Emma, that is an awesome verse. That I think you completely missed the point of. You're just saying that because you're white.
That's what you think. But honestly, I don't see color. You could be green for all I care. What matters is what's in your heart. How you look on the outside doesn't make a difference to me.
I mean, I kind of see what she's saying. The color of your skin shouldn't matter, right?
It shouldn't, but when cops are going around and shooting people...
I feel like you always bring this up because you know my uncle is a police officer.
Guys, can we just finish the questions?
See, this is what I was talking about. I feel like we're creating more division right now.
Emmett, I love you, okay? I love black people and all people. But I'm tired of you blaming me for these things like I had anything to do with it. I didn't own slaves, okay?
Emma, I love you too. And that is why I will not stop bringing it up. Just because you didn't own slaves doesn't mean you're not still benefiting from your ancestors who did.
My ancestors didn't own slaves. They were Irish immigrants. They were treated almost as horribly as the black slaves were.
When you walk out of the house, nobody can tell the difference. I'm not saying that your life doesn't suck or that it's not hard, but I'm saying it's not hard that because of the color of your skin.
You know, I was talking to my aunt once, and she was telling me about my little cousin and their friends from their neighborhood. My cousin is white, and she had different friends that were different races, like black and Mexican. And they were always running around, and they never really noticed that they were different races. And they, grew up together. Like, they knew each other since they were babies. They didn't notice that they were different races until they started talking about race in schools. And their eyes were almost opened, you know? Kind of like Adam and Eve. Eventually, the girls stopped hanging out, and they drifted apart. She thinks that we talk about it way too much, and by discussing race, we're only creating more division.
That makes sense. Zion, have you ever felt we've treated you differently because you're not white?
No, not really. Well...
And what about you, Amira? Honestly, if I ever say or do anything that makes you feel oppressed, I would really like to know.
Yeah, Amira, you've been awfully quiet. What do you have to say about all this?
Well, as a Caucasian person myself... What? I'm just as much white as I am black.
I mean, are you, though? You're pretty white.
Yeah, you're the whitest black person I know.
Okay, we're getting really off topic here. Amira, how about you answer? What do you think Jesus has to say to our generation?
Honestly, I think he'd say what he's been saying from the beginning. To love him first and then to love others. To stop hiding behind rules and laws to justify the hate in our hearts.
All right, kids, time to go.
Dear God, thank you for these people and this meeting. I pray that you'd protect all of them and let them all get home safely.
And that Emma would have enough time to finish his art project before school tomorrow.
What? Bye, Amira.
Bye, guys.
When they put her on my chest, I remember thinking, she's so long. How did she fit in there? But then I remembered that she hadn't really. At that point, she'd been fighting to come out for 5 days. and my uterus was trying to squeeze her out for 5 days. And for 5 days, my cervix was sobbing, singing ABBA's Slipping Through My Fingers and refusing to budge a damn centimeter. Before my doc said, fuck it, injected me with Pitocin, and my cervix hiccup sobbed and opened up 10 centimeters in an hour. And then she was there, on my chest, with 3 claw marks on her cheek and desperate for a snuggle. You could say that she's the perfect baby, and though I might be biased, she is. She sleeps well, she eats well, she loves to be snuggled and knows how to be bored. She's funny and sweet and charming and will always be calmed by my singing or Kermit the Frog's. I have the perfect baby. There, I said it. And you can't argue with me because I'm a mom and that's my baby. The thing about having the perfect baby is that a lot of people say things to you like, oh my gosh, doesn't she just make you want 20? No. Did you not hear the 5 days part of my labor story? When they have to stop counting your labor in hours and instead move to days, you don't really get baby rabies. At least I don't. Like, my daughter is the most perfect being in the universe. She's never done a single thing wrong in her life. When she's older, I will lie to her and say that she has done wrong. But because I'm her mother, I will secretly believe she can never do wrong and everyone else is just stupid and bad. But because I don't want to raise an entitled asshole, I will pretend that I am truly objective and that she can, in fact, do wrong. Despite the fact that she really can't and she's perfect and wonderful and you're all just jealous. Look, I had the pregnancy from hell, okay? My first symptom wasn't something normal like morning sickness. Oh no, though I had plenty of that too. Oh no. I had something way more punk rock. I had bloody mouth. Danielle, what's bloody mouth? Well, kiddo, when you're pregnant, all your capillaries and blood vessels are super dilated. And thanks to all that lovely HCG, you're also a slobbery, spit-filled mess. Well, turns out what that can do is fill your mouth up with plenty of saliva, but the saliva tastes metallic, like blood, like your mouth is filling up with blood. The first time it happened, I was 6 weeks pregnant and convinced I was miscarrying through my mouth. Science degree be damned, what if I'm miscarrying through my mouth? I was not. I just had bloody mouth. And before you ask, no, I didn't check Reddit like a normal person. I actually called my OBGYN at 9 p.m. on a Friday night before I even had my first technical appointment with her and asked her if I was miscarrying through my mouth. I'm surprised she still agreed to see me. That wasn't even the weirdest shit. From week 10 on, I woke up almost every day with a bloody nose. Like, I'd open my eyes, then wham! Blood on the pillow, blood on my shirt, blood in my mouth. Oh wait, no, that's just my weird metallic spit. My pelvic bone actually separated while I was pregnant. Supposedly normal. I redeveloped sciatica. Sure. I vomited so much I drank Gatorade like it was my job. And I didn't have a job because I had to leave it because I would randomly get symptoms of a heart attack when I was even a little bit stressed. Fun. But by far the worst symptom, my brain was breaking slowly and insidiously. I had the normal stuff, crying over silly things and desperately craving soy sauce to the point of drinking it. But I also had the not normal stuff. The daily 4 p.m. panic attacks, the need to stare at the walls for hours on end, the sobbing until I got so dehydrated I would pump Gatorade and water and then sob some more. I was so depressed and so anxious and constantly terrified that everything I would do would kill my baby. I ate a Sour Patch Kid. She's gonna die. My dog pulled on her leash. Oh, you bet she's lost a limb. And she's gonna die. I'm stressed, which means my blood pressure is high, and my kid is currently bathing in cortisol. I'm the worst mother, and I had a lot of people comment to me about how beautiful and glorious pregnancy is, and how they've never felt more proud or connected with their body. I did not have that experience. When I was pregnant, my body was mutating without my consent in ways I didn't even know were possible. My teeth were rotting out, I was leaking everywhere, and my brain was playing tricks on me. My joints loosened, my skin stretched till it itched, and I would randomly break out into hives. I had gestational diabetes as well, which means not only was I not allowed to have a fucking Oreo, but even those ghost contractions, they call them Braxton Hicks, that are supposed to prep you for birth as practice, would almost knock me out. They're not supposed to be painful, but apparently if you have excess amniotic fluid because you have gestational diabetes, well then I guess you're just super lucky. I hated being pregnant. I didn't feel like a cute little meatball, though I did appreciate the older Southern woman who said that to me at Costco when I couldn't fit into any of my clothes anymore at like 24 weeks. I love my baby. I am so grateful for her. I'm so relieved she's here and she's safe, happy, healthy, and I can't imagine my life without her. I would do 1,000 pregnancies for her. But some rando baby, some baby who is not my sweet little bee, I'm going to need to forget the feelings of active labor first. I'm going to need to forget what my cervix ripping 10 centimeters in an hour felt like first before I got the epidural, because I thought I was dying. The nurse thought I was dying. The entire labor and delivery unit thought I was dying. I remember screaming a lot and my husband being pale as the linoleum and holding on to me for dear life. I still wake up, when I can sleep, thinking about it, and what I'm trying to say is, pregnancy was worth it for my perfect, precious baby. I would do it 1,000 times for her. But the only reason I survived my pregnancy is because I wanted her so bad. My cervix was ripping open when the Roe v. Wade documents leaked. I was in the hospital, wishing there was a way I could jump out the window and she would still survive and be perfectly healthy and happy and safe, so I wouldn't have to experience that level of pain anymore. When some crusty old fucks decided that my wishing to be dead for the last 39 weeks and 1 day was an A-OK experience for 50% of the population. On behalf of my birth trauma and my daughter's bodily autonomy, fuck you, SCOTUS. My daughter lost rights once they cut the cord because you decided that being pregnant is Eve's comeuppance for a goddamn snack? Fuck your misogyny, and fuck your weird evangelical bedtime story to scare people away from snakes and anything else remotely phallic without the stamped approval of your God. If you hate women and anyone else with a uterus, just say so, instead of hiding behind your poorly translated book. I have news for you. If my daughter ever wants an abortion, I'm helping her find a way to get one. You know why? Because it's her goddamn body, and she gets to decide whether or not she wants to be a mother, not you. And she's perfect and precious and has never done anything wrong in her life. And you're just standing on the soon-to-be graves of 1 million mothers and more.
You deserve the right to love who you want to love. And to celebrate that love. And to celebrate who you are. My daughter Beatrice has the right to bodily autonomy.
All children deserve the right to a comprehensive education that doesn't whitewash history.
Our youth should have the right to arts education and to learn the truth about our nation's history.
I deserve the right to express my queer and disabled identity without fear of being censored.
You deserve the right to worship in safety.
All children deserve the right to a safe educational environment.
A child should have more rights outside of the womb than inside, and I should have more bodily autonomy when I'm alive than when I'm dead.
I deserve the right to health care that doesn't bankrupt me.
You deserve the right to safe and sanitary housing, no matter what.
I deserve the right to bodily autonomy.
What you wanna do tonight? I go once a licking life. Oh, you said standing like a stick, this tacoed inverted be a noose instead. Oh, you lie next to me, heart is beating heavily, blood in your earlobe, blood in your shirt. And it's too late to say you're sorry still. And I stepped out with heavy heart to bail you out again. All those things you do, and all those things you do. Well, get out and get gone. This town is only gonna get worse. And get out and get gone. This town is only